competitive. But of course, every
but even as you're saying this, it may sound simple or it may sound easy, but I said there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to do that. Because remember, you first like it's just basic questions or basic answers that you have to find for yourself, right? It's like what is the niche market that you're going to go into, like what are these clients that you're going to provide your services to or your skills to, right? Like what can you offer them, like from looking at their website, are they, or looking at their business, is there anything that you can improve? Is there something that they are lacking, that you can come in with your skills or with yours. Alright, cool. So the first video here I'm going to like dive into is should you become a freelancer? And if I decided to kind of give you a quick backstory real quick before we get into this video. There was a time like a few months ago, a few weeks ago, right, where I would have applied for a job, right, and for some reason like it got rejected. I mean I don't understand why the business never really clarified with me what was the issue, but I was kind of a bit skeptical on what it can be a bit I'm too qualified, maybe it's racism. I mean I'm not too sure, this is assuming, right? So and I tell you, like I applied for many different jobs, like at least I would say 5 maybe 10 different jobs, and there were jobs that were looking for my qualifications, right? So I was a bit shocked when I didn't get a response from these businesses, because I'm like how do you really want the youths to help develop the country if you're not giving them the finances nor the support in order to help them grow their brand or grow their knowledge within that field, right? And it just made me realize that at this point, like, you have to create your own job. Like it kind of come to a point where those who have jobs, they might keep your job. You know what you have to do across the board. See, I mean, my goal is to obviously become an entrepreneur. I don't want to work for nobody. I work for myself, right? But I mean, if your job is just to work for someone else, for all fair to you. But I need to work on my own time, man. I'm good. But yeah. So by me just applying, and my resume just keep getting rejected, and there's no contact or no message or whatever from the businesses. My other issue my thought, right? It just to be like, what, bro? Like I'm not going in here and look to stoop down and bet these businesses. I just create my own business, my own plan, my own future, my see where life can take me. And yeah, bro, like to me, you just you just have to do it on your own, because like if no one isn't going to give you the opportunity, like you just have to create it like that. It's simple as that, man. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're religious as well, too, I don't mean to kind of go religious here too, but I mean, if you're religious as well, like you obviously pray to God and or Allah, or whichever one you guys believe on, he would help you achieve your goal and achieve that job, right? So to keep it a long story short, it's kind of like wanted to give a bit of some dialogue, there's some some context. Like to me, there's nothing wrong in me being a freelancer or being an entrepreneur, but you have to start somewhere. If someone doesn't give you it, or if someone does give it, like the main goal regardless is to become a solo entrepreneur, is to make sure you're working for yourself, because I said no one wants to work for the rest of their life. No one wants to work until like 60, 75 years. Like come on, nobody wants to work that long. Everybody wants to chill, be some in Turkey, be some in Bahamas, be some in Saudi Arabia. Like nobody wants to work for the rest of their life. So yeah, man, the kind of like the motivation or the moral of the story, just to believe in yourself, keep working hard. Obviously you give God thanks or Allah thanks, and you make sure you put your best foot forward every single day. And yeah, let's just kind of get into this video here real quick. Oh, sorry, I had a low. And I say that I'm supposed to oh, why the hell? Okay, bro, what is it? What is all the issues? Okay, hold on. Oh, bro, my bad. Okay, let's why meeting this one. Yeah, that is cap, man. Yo, if you ever get scammed by that, like that laptop lifestyle, whatever, bro, that is the biggest scam of 20, bro. That is worse than an actual scammer, bro. Like, yo, you bro, if any of you believe in this laptop lifestyle, bro, come on. That first of all, that ain't for everybody, and then two, like that lifestyle ain't true, man. like no one isn't like chilling on some beach with a laptop and like bro, if you're chilling, you're chilling, and if you're working, you're working, and if you're gonna be working, you're gonna be working in an office, and you're not gonna be working on a beach. Like, come on, man, don't ever get scammed by that, man. It is made for cloud. Oh shoot, bro. Oh my gosh, my bad. Technical difficulties yet again. I'll have to rewind that again. Bro, this is so annoying, bro. OBS, man, fix y'all, bro. Let me run this back again.
Yesterday, I got home after a long day
Bro,
of slaving
OBS,
away
man,
for some
bro,
tech company in exchange for the
OBS,
crumbs my boss so generously drops in account at the end of each. And like every good office drone, the first thing I did after getting home was open my phone for a good old session of doom scrolling. That's when I was bombarded with an endless barrage of TikToks and YouTube shorts featuring some guy lounging on a beach, coconut in one hand, laptop in the other, bragging about how he made $10,000 last month freelancing. It all looked so simple, so glamorous. But here's the question: is that really the freelancer life, or just a highlight reel made for clout? Because while the dream of freedom and working on your own terms is real, the harsh truths that come with it often get skipped over. So let's break it down. Oh, but before we start, it looks like almost tied to one employer. One week you'd be designing a startup's website, and the next week you're debugging some stranger's WordPress site at 2 in the morning because they forgot their password. Now their site has mysteriously vanished. It's not the same as remote work, where you're technically employed but just happen to work from home. Freelancing means you are the business, for better or worse. Now, let's talk about the shiny parts of freelancing, the reasons people romanticize it in the first place. The biggest one is freedom, obviously. You don't have a boss breathing down your neck or telling you to show up at 9 sharp. You can set your own hours, choose your own project, and even decide where you want to work. Maybe that's a cafe in Lisbon, maybe it's your mom's basement, no judgment. And if you're good at what you do, freelancing can actually pay more than a traditional 9 to 5 because you're not locked into a fixed salary. Instead, you can juggle multiple clients and stack projects in ways that let you scale your in. Plus, you get exposure to different industries and skills, which keeps the work interesting instead of repetitive. But of course,
but even as you say this, it may sound simple or it may sound easy, but I said there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to do that. Because remember, you first like it's just basic questions or basic answers that you have to find for yourself, right? It's like what is the niche market that you're going to go into, like what are these clients that you're going to provide your services to or your skills to, right? Like what can you offer them, from looking at their website, are they, or looking at their business, is there anything that you can improve? Is there something that they are lacking, that you can come in with your skills or with your services, and obviously create a package for that business, and obviously either sell your services or your skills to them. Like that's really how it works. But I said that also is simply said, because you still have to obviously go there and find the client. And remember, to some people they may not like just they might understand the issue that you're coming with, but you may not have any credibility or the followers to back up with what you're saying to. So as I said, it may sound easier sound, but there's still a lot of work that goes behind the scenes in order to achieve that goal.
Perk comes with a cap. Freelancing isn't all smooth sail. It's unstable. 1 month you're flush with projects and clients, and the next you're staring at your inbox, refreshing every 10 minutes, wondering if your career has ended overnight. There's no guaranteed paycheck, no paid vacation, and definitely no health benefits or retirement plans unless you set those up yourself. And while freedom sounds nice, it also means you wear every hat. You're the boss, the HR department, the accountant, and the marketing team. Oh, and freelancing can get lonely. There's no water cooler talk or coworkers to vent.
Which I know is another good point there as well too, because remember, you have to. I mean, to be fair, you can't turn freelancing into a business, technically, because you can't just, obviously, if money is running, good, you can obviously hire your own marketing agency, your own HR, and all those kind of stuff. Because if we're really gonna be honest, like that's how Microsoft and Google and Nike and Adidas, that's how all these companies started off. Like they started off as solo entrepreneurs, and obviously they worked out day and night, whatever, to get their business where they're at now. So I mean, obviously, yes, it's gonna be lonely, it's tiring, but you have to pay the work every single day.
To just you and occasional existential crisis at your desk. So what does it actually take to succeed at this game? Discipline, for one. Nobody is going to tell you to wake up and get to work. So if you're not self-motivated, you'll sink fast. You also need to learn how to sell yourself, because freelancing is 30% skill, 10% luck, 40% marketing, 5% pleasure, 15% concentrated power of will, and 100% reason to pay your bills this month. So building a strong portfolio.
Basically, everything that he's saying is very true. You have to like set your Instagram or like your LinkedIn. Well, basically what I'm doing right here too. Like you have to, show your projects, show what you can do, and also you start to market yourself as well. I mean, even if you had to pay for marketing, like if you had to collaborate with other, entrepreneurs or other businesses or whatever, like you have to, get yourself out there, because that's another, massive thing about freelance too. Because as I said, like, to me, I'll be, if I had to be generous, like, 70% is just marketing and 30% is just skill, because you need to market yourself. Because if you don't market yourself, like nobody ain't gonna know who you is. You know what I mean? Nobody ain't gonna know who is this Josiah the person, who's this, Zach the developer, or who is this, Corey the developer. Like nobody isn't gonna know. Like you have to, put in the work you have to market yourself out there and, collaborate with other members and just show what you can do. But you have to put it in an entertaining way as well. But it's like, yeah, you have to try to put it in an entertaining way too. But then we're in Gen Z, right? We're in this, generation or where, everybody has like this main, well, I shouldn't say main character, but kind of like main character, but not really main character. It's just so confusing to it. Like everybody just like so brainwashed, and like, they don't really understand how certain things like run. So it's a very tough market really out here. So it isn't easy as it may sound,
Portfolio and reputation is essential, since clients want proof before they trust you with their money.
Yeah.
On top of that, you've got to be financially literate, meaning you understand how to invoice, budget for dry months, and unfortunately deal with taxes. Yes, freelancing means you'll spend a shocking amount of time Googling tax laws instead of code or design. That raises the question, who is freelancing really for? It's perfect if you're a self-starter, adaptable, and willing to handle uncertainty. If you thrive on independence and can manage juggling multiple clients without losing your mind, freelancing might be a dream come true. But if you crave stability, love having a clear career ladder, or break into a sweat at the thought of sending cold emails, freelancing is going to feel more like a nightmare. So, should you become a freelancer? Honestly, it depends. It's not just sipping coconuts in Bali while money pours into your account, but it's not all doom and gloom either. If you're ready to take full responsibility for your work, your income, and your growth, freelancing can be one of the most rewarding ways to build a career. And the best way to get clients, if you are a freelancer, is showing off cool products that prove you know your stuff. And the easiest way to build those kinds of projects, that's where today's sponsor
it's up there. But yeah, he isn't like, there's no cap in his rap there, because as I said, like, there's nothing wrong with either wanting to be a freelancer or either wanting to, be like a solo entrepreneur. Like it's really on what you want to do as, as a human being, right? But if I genuinely have to be honest, like I'm sure there's no human being on this planet who genuinely wants to, clock in at a 9 to 5 job. Like there's nobody. And if you are that person, well, yeah, fair to you, man. You can do you. But for me, nah, bro. I can't be locked. 9 to 5 for no one for like 10, 20, bro. That's terrible, man. Like I don't mind, see like 5, 6 years, because as a kid you have to build up your wealth and all this kind of stuff. But like when you're in the 30s or 40s or 50s, like bro, like come on, man, 30s, 40s, 50s, still working for someone. Nah, bro, I'm good. And especially it is a bit easier, but also harder as well too, because I said AI really has come in to disrupt the market. But at the same time too, you have to know how to leverage AI with all these different tools or like just basically all these different tools that they have out there. Like you just have to know how to balance it.